What's up, kings and queens? It's your boy Dan from Daft Previews. I've got another 3 picks that I put down that I'm going to take you through today. If that sounds interesting, let's go.
Sub to the channel cause your boy's getting busy. Coming to you live from the west side of Sydney. We've got the free picks and the juice and the daily. It's all free, you don't even have to pay me.
Before we jump into the picks, we do have to recap the day that was. Shared 2 picks with you. Didn't love the slate. There were so many game time decisions. Eventually, I landed with a lot more than 2, but the 2 picks I did give you both happened to lose. You got hooked on both of them. For VIP, minus 1.62 units. And I called out that I feel like a damn fish with all the hooks in my mouth after that day. With all the reads, I was honestly quite happy with them. Let's talk through it. Let's talk about Isaiah Hartenstein over 11.5 rebounds. I can't be mad at this guy despite getting hooked. Now, watching that game closely, 8 rebounds coming into the fourth, but the game was competitive, so I knew he was going to get his minutes. He got his minutes. He did his job extremely well. What I noticed in the dying stages of that game, my man wasn't really getting rebounds. He was doing the right thing. He was boxing out. And the other thing was OKC. Their defense wasn't that great in this game against the Spurs. The Spurs shot 56% from the field in this game. So when you're shooting 56%, it's going to be difficult for the other team to see the number of opportunities. So that one sucked. I didn't think about the total. I did consider the spread, but the Spurs offense has been awful as of late, and they absolutely made it sing today. So that was a tough one, tough pill to swallow. But then we had to deal with Jordan Hawkins as well. Over 12.5 rebounds and points. He came out hot. He had 12 points and rebounds by halftime. I'm thinking 1 shot, 1 free throw, 1 rebound. We cash this and we move on. He then spent the next 9 minutes of game time running up and down the court. So a whole lot of cardio done for Jordan Hawkins. I hope he hit his target for the number of steps. He had 0 shot attempts in the second half, and he had no rebounds at all. So got hooked on that one as well. I didn't hate that bet, but it was just frustrating to watch. Like, he almost got a couple of rebounds too. There was one where he got the ball in his hands, and then he had it wrestled away from him, and that was when Utah were on that run. So that one sucked, but once I finished the live stream, put down 3 extra picks. De'Aaron Fox under 31 points, rebounds, and assists. And once again, ball dominant guards against OKC. Cashes us. It got a little bit sweaty late, but he did finish with 28 points, rebounds, and assists. We also hit on Kyle Filipowski over 26.5 PRA. This was an excellent all-round game for him. He managed to cash his PRA despite going under his points line. Then we had Emmanuel quickly over 17.5 points. That went as predicted. I said if he doesn't take 15 shots, this is a bad bet. Took more than 15 shots, finished with 24 points. So I love that. Also had all 3 of those guys in a parlay. That was at plus 554. And we hit 1 value play on De'Aaron Fox, which is under 20.5 points. Got lucky there, but under in his rebounds and assists as well. So just the 1 value play. Got hooked on another one, but what can you do? For the most part, the reads are good. If the straight bets are looking nice, then I know we're not too far from a big winning day, and hopefully we can get that on this upcoming set. Now, I've got the 3 picks. I'll quickly flick through the games. I'll tell you what my thoughts and my insights are for the others. Let's go. Jumping into Props Madness, this is the best tool you're going to find if you like betting on NBA player props. I encourage you to check it out. 7-day free trial and 25% off if you use the code DAFT when you happen to sign up. So go ahead and check that out. The links to that are in the video description below. Whilst we're here, I ask you to like the video, subscribe to the channel. It's my second channel, but it's my main channel that I'm running with now. We're at 8,000 subscribers, so we're going to climb this hill again. Hopefully we can get to 15,000 subscribers by the end of this regular season. Who knows? We'll see. But drop me a comment down below. Every comment that you leave me helps the algorithm push this video out to more people, and I appreciate everybody who does that. Now let's get through these 3 picks, shall we? The first one I want to talk through is in this Atlanta Hawks game versus the Grizzlies. I think this game has tremendous value, and the main reason is the total is set at 253. Even if this goes under by a long way and we finish on 240, that's still a lot of points. So both of these teams play at a frenetic pace, which means there's a good opportunity for a lot of stats, basically. And the person I trust right now is Desmond Bane, and I'm looking at his PRA. 31.5 points, rebounds, and assists for Desmond Bane. I'd play this at 32.5 if it does happen to move. Now, Desmond Bane is projected to play 35 minutes in this game. I looked at games where he plays between 33 and 37 minutes, and on hit rate alone, it already looks fantastic. 13 out of 18 games this season, averaging 32.8 points, rebounds, and assists. Now, if we look a little bit closer, there were 5 games where we went under. 4 of these games, very difficult matchups. These are teams, the top 10 defensive rating, the Boston Celtics, the Houston Rockets, Orlando Magic, and the Cleveland Cavaliers. So if we were to remove the 10 teams with the better defensive rating, suddenly our hit rate for Desmond Bane here looks even better. Now, me talking at the same time and trying to find the filters is extremely difficult. Here we go. So excluding the top 10 teams, suddenly he's over a 9 out of 10, 36 points, rebounds, and assists per game. The other thing that I like about this play is there's potential for Ja Morant to miss this game with a shoulder injury. So let me put the minutes filter back on. If he's going to play 33 to 37 minutes, but Ja Morant doesn't play, check this out. Over in 7 out of 7 games, averaging 37.4 points, rebounds, and assists. So in terms of hit rate, opportunity, this already looks like a good look. But if you want to dive a little bit further, Desmond Bane is a fantastic matchup. The total is 253, so expecting a lot of everything. In terms of scoring, Desmond Bane is up against the Atlanta Hawks, bottom 10 in transition, bottom 6 in pick and roll defenders, bottom 11 when it comes to spot up shooting. They allow a lot of free throws. He has got a great matchup to score points. Like under the basket, 5th most points allowed in the restricted area, the 2nd most points above the break. Like it's all happening here. And if you wanted to dive a little bit deeper into the other stat categories, what do we have? The Atlanta Hawks, 6th most assists allowed, below average in terms of rebounds allowed. Like points, rebounds, and assists to his position, 4th most points, rebounds, and assists. Like it all is ticking the boxes here for Desmond Bane. The last box that needs to be ticked is Ja Morant. And then I love this play to death. For now, I like it, and I like it a lot. But if Ja Morant is out, then I absolutely love it. So Desmond Bane, that's the first pick I want to talk you through. The next one, heading to the Sacramento Kings versus the Dallas Mavericks, and I'm rolling with Klay Thompson and his goatee, and I'm taking him for over 3.5 3-pointers made. This is a plus money play. The plus money got me into it. Haven't had too much success betting on threes, but I have had some success betting on Klay Thompson to make 3-pointers in pretty much every bet, I believe, except for this one against the Golden State Warriors, where he's only 3 for 7 in that blowout loss. But the reason why I like Klay Thompson today, he's over in 4 out of 5 games. I don't know why my accent went real strong there. 4 out of 5 games since the All-Star break. 4 against the Pels, 3 against the Warriors, 5 on the Lakers, 4 against the Hornets and the Bucks. So the hit rate, fantastic as of late. So his recent form is terrific. He's taking 8 attempts per game, 27 minutes per game. Now, PJ Washington is out for this game. Klay's potential minutes, they're up to 31 minutes, which I am going to assume here means more opportunity. If he takes 1 to 2 3-pointers extra, then we're looking nice. Great matchup here against the Sacramento Kings, though. 10th most 3-point attempts allowed. They allow the most points to spot up shooters in the league this season. They allow the 4th most points from above the break, where Klay Thompson scores 51% of his points. They're bottom 10 in terms of points allowed in handoff situations and off screens. Pretty much everywhere you can get a 3-pointer, they're bad at defending. So the matchup here for Klay Thompson is absolutely fantastic. Did play the Kings about 3 to 4 weeks ago in early Feb. Only played 26 minutes in OT, but scored 19 points, made 5 out of 10 3-pointers in that game. So I'm absolutely loving it here. In terms of how this happens, like Kyrie's going to get the majority of the attention in this game. I'm sure of it. Keon Ellis will be all over him. And Kyrie, honestly, has an awful matchup to score points today. Whilst I do think he goes under his points line, I don't want to fade my favorite player like that. But what I think that ultimately means is a lot of these other players of the Dallas Mavericks are going to see some opportunities. And Klay Thompson is the first person that came to mind. So I do like him to hit some 3-pointers here. Great matchup, great opportunity for him, and his recent form is fantastic. So rolling with Klay at plus money. The last pick that I have for you right now is for Mark Williams, and I'm taking him over 11.5 rebounds. This is also a plus money play. Thanks to everybody who bet opening lines. Move the lines up a little bit, but at great odds now. So we're seeing this for plus money for Mark Williams, taking the 11.5 boards. Now he's projected to play 31 minutes in this game. So what I did is I looked at games where he plays at least 25, but maxed him out at 33 to get rid of any outliers. Now, in these games, he's only got a 50% hit rate, 8 out of 16 games, which is not the best hit rate, right? 11.4 rebounds as an average. But we can look to see, in terms of rebounds allowed to centers, the Golden State Warriors allow the 2nd most rebounds to centers in the league. Now, if we just look to see how Mark Williams is performing against the bottom half of the league when he plays this set of minutes, we can see he's over this line in 8 out of 11 games, averaging 12.9 rebounds. So the hit rate suddenly looking a lot better now that we know that the matchup is nice. But we got a 12-point spread here. You're probably thinking, what if the Warriors blow them out? Don't worry, I thought about that. Thankfully, it was only last week. The Warriors blew the Hornets out. 36 points they won by. Mark Williams still managed to play 25 minutes in that game, still had 12 rebounds from 18 rebound chances. That game was being played in Golden State. Now, this game's being played at home. I'm not going to say the Charlotte Hornets are more competitive because they're getting pumped by everyone, but hopefully that home crowd keeps them in it a little bit. LaMelo Ball plays well. Miles Bridges suits up. Hopefully all those things happen and Mark Williams gets a little bit more than 25 minutes. If he gets close to the 30 minutes projected, I really love this bet here for over 11.5 boards, and it's at plus money, so you know I couldn't avoid it. So I do like that. The Golden State Warriors, not a great rebounding team whatsoever. We can see it here, 9 out of the last 15. Similar types of players have gone over their rebound line against the Golden State Warriors. And if we look at how rebounds, how bigs have performed post the All-Star break, Sabonis had 14 boards, Mark Williams had 12, Goga had 5 off the bench, and Andre Drummond recently had 14 rebounds against them. So taking Mark Williams here for 12. Hopefully he delivers. Hopefully the Hornets can keep it somewhat competitive, and Mark Williams gets these boards for us. I love it. So 2+ money plays, but Desmond Bane, they're pretty good odds as well. And I'd play that one up to 32.5 if you're looking at his PRA. Now, jumping into some insights and some leans, let me talk you through what's going on in a lot of these other games. We'll smash through them quite quick. We've got the Portland Trailblazers versus 76ers. That's the first game. Jeremy Grant's a game-time decision, and so is Paul George. So really keep an eye out for that to see what the impact is for other players. I will say this. I'm going to assume Denny Ardvey is going to be a popular play here. He's been playing, played pretty well in that last game. Without DeAndre Ayton, he's been decent. But I did get messages from people asking if I'm playing Denny Ardvey assists at 3.5. And I was like, why would I pay that? Firstly, the odds for him to get over 3.5 assists are absolutely disgusting. That's the first thing. You're most likely going to have to bet it at 4.5 if you're not someone who bet the opening line. And at 4.5, it's awful as well. But Denny Ardvey is projected to play at least 33 minutes in this game. So if we look at the games where he plays a stack of minutes, he's now over this line in 6 out of 8 games without DeAndre Ayton. It looks fantastic, right? But Denny Ardvey just played 42 minutes against Cleveland. This is a back-to-back. Now, I looked at Denny Ardvey in back-to-backs. Without DeAndre Ayton, under in all 3, averaging 2.3 assists. Just looking at back-to-backs in general, he's under this line in every single game, averaging 2 assists per game. So, and in a couple of these games, he did play 30-plus minutes. So, yeah, 3.5, I'm not overly excited because the odds suck. Now that's at 4.5, I definitely don't like it. So, I'm not saying to take the under. I'm just saying I wouldn't be so quick to jump on it. Like, there's a recency bias. People see a great game and they think it's going to happen every time. I'm going to be a little bit conservative around it. We've got the Warriors versus the Hornets. Jimmy Butler's a game-time decision, and so is Miles Bridges, but I do think they both still play. What were my thoughts in this one? LaMelo Ball, he's just not the same play he was at the start of the year, so I feel like a lot of the numbers are somewhat unreliable, so I didn't want to play any of that. There's potential for a blowout here, and in a blowout, I tend to look at Steph Curry to dime up. And if you look at Steph Curry in games where they win by more than 10 points, he's over this line in 11 out of 13 games, averaging 7 assists per game. So that's Steph Curry to get more than 5.5 assists. I thought that's a real interesting look, but I don't know. I'll sleep on it. We'll see how I feel about it in the morning. Outside of that, nothing really screamed at me saying, bet me, bet me, bet me. We got the Wizards versus the Heat. And in this game, Andrew Wiggins is a game-time decision, and so is Jaime Jaquez. For the Wizards, Jordan Poole is still out once again. I thought Chris Middleton, his assist could be an interesting look, 4.5. He's been on the Wizards for only a couple of games, though. 4 games for the Wizards, over this line in his last 3. Still on a minutes cap, I'd say, at about 25 minutes. So up against Miami, he's got a decent matchup to get some assists, though. So I don't absolutely hate that play. And Miami are also in a back-to-back. So 4.5 assists for Chris Middleton at plus money. It's still something that I'm considering playing. Let's just put it that way. So we'll see. We'll see where I stand on that one, but I'm going to sleep on it. I thought about some others for the Miami Heat as well, but knowing they're on a back-to-back concerns me a little bit. Like Davion Mitchell's been playing like pretty well in terms of points and assists, especially since he's been playing with Miami. Been going quite well since he's moved to the starting lineup. But yeah, he's only projected to play 31 minutes. He had been playing like 37 minutes per game in the last 3. So if that projection is right, I don't like what I see. Then we got Atlanta versus the Grizzlies. And I think this game is just stacked with potential. The total is so high. What was I considering? Like Trae Young to get some dimes, 10.5 assists, total at 253. The Grizzlies, bottom 10 in terms of assists allowed. Trae Young hasn't played them yet this season. 4 out of 9 similar types of players. In recent times, though, it's been an assist haven for guards. 13 out of the last 15 guards have gone over their assist line. So the issue here is that the odds are terrible. Like, I'd have to play this at minus 140. So I'm not overly keen on that. I prefer to just wait till it hits 11.5 and I might play it there. But yeah, Trae Young should be super involved in this game, a real up and down pace. And if he's going to get a lot of assists, another player I'm thinking about is Zach Reese-Shea. I'm looking at his PRA here. He's projected to play like 30 minutes or something like that. And without Jalen Johnson, when Reese-Shea gets even close to 30 minutes, let's have a look. Like really good hit rate. His last 5 games, he's gone over this points, rebounds, and assist line. He also has a terrific matchup to score points here in transition as a spot-up shooter. I'm loving what I'm seeing here. The problem is I don't have access to any of these books, so I can't even get on Reese-Shea right now, but I've got that on my list of things to look at. What else do we have? Rockets versus the Thunder. The Rockets have like half their team as game time decisions, so you can't even bet on them. And if a lot of those guys are out, then you could be looking at blowout potential. This is a back-to-back game for OKC, so I'll probably be looking at someone like an Aaron Wiggins, points and rebounds. That's where my mind goes, but we'll see. Again, market's not open yet. We've got the Kings versus the Mavs. Domantas Sabonis is out, so Jonas Valanciunas gets a start. Get over 20 minutes in this game, which I love. So I'm waiting for them to drop Jonas Valanciunas props because I'd be all over that. That one I love. I don't know how, like Zach LaVine, DeRozan, Monk, I don't know how they're all going to play without Domas. I would assume DeMar DeRozan probably sees a lot more volume. I question whether Monk can see assists, though, because I believe Malik Monk really gets a lot of assists in that pick and roll to Domantas Sabonis. So I'm a little bit hesitant to pull the trigger on anyone for the Kings. And for the Mavericks, like I said, I'm leaning towards the under for Kyrie, but I won't bet it. Already got the bet down for Klay. Max Christie's been somewhat disappointing in his last few games, so I'm a little bit hesitant to take anything on him, but at the same time, he does have a good matchup, so we'll see. This could be the game that breaks Max Christie out. And I'd also be looking at Moses Brown for the Dallas Mavericks. Recently acquired, been playing extremely well. But again, his markets aren't out yet either. So he's someone I'll be looking at. Then we've got the Pistons versus the Jazz. And the Jazz have Sexton, Markkanen, Collins, Walker Kessler. I think they're all game time decisions as well. They might be playing second leg of a back-to-back. Detroit should absolutely romp them. And what's the spread in this one? It's a 10.5 point spread, but yeah, the Pistons should absolutely destroy them. Malik Beasley probably has the best matchup here, but there's no Tobias Harris. So Malik Beasley playing in the starting lineup, I don't know if that actually helps him or not. So I'm going to pause and wait on that. Klay Thompson, I've betted in the last couple of games and he's delivered against Utah. It's another good matchup for him. And I also think his minutes are blowout proof. So if there is a blowout, Klay Thompson will still see his game time. So that's where my mind goes, but I'll make some more decisions in the morning once these lineups are closer to being finalized and also once there are more markets available. So we'll see. We'll see where we land. Like, I don't want to risk it and get adventurous too early and start making bets anticipating injuries. I don't want to get into all that. So that's all I've got for you now. But I do appreciate you if you made it to the end of the video. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Drop me a comment down below. I do wish you the absolute best of luck. Wish you good health. I hope everyone's all good in your hood. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Sub to the channel cause your boy's getting busy. Coming to you live from the west side of Sydney. We've got the free picks and the juice and the daily. It's all free, you don't even have to pay me.